Hello, welcome to this very specific video where I'm just going to be covering more detail on putting the cardboard together for the DIY cardboard Mandalorian helmet. This is sort of supplementary to that video. If you're looking for the full build for this cardboard helmet, this is not the right video for you. Go watch that full video, but you can come back here if you need additional help specifically on how to put all of the cardboard pieces together. I'll walk you through every single piece. So first of all, shout out to all the people. I know there's hundreds of you that have made this helmet and sent me amazing pictures either on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere. You guys are amazing. And to you parents that are making them for your kids, they're so cool. I love seeing the builds and the full costume that you guys have made. It's so cool to see all the creativity and talent, especially the people that made the giant version. They blew the templates all the way up and made a 3-foot wide version of this to put on top of their car for a parade. So awesome. So, all right, this is specifically going to be just the details on how to glue these pieces together. This video can also be helpful for the cardboard Boba Fett helmet. There's just one less piece on the front, but otherwise it's basically the same setup. All right, so I'm starting with these pieces. Now, you've already watched the other video, right, up to this point with all the templates and how to trace them and cut out the cardboard. So that's done. So now we're picking up just for the cardboard pieces. So in general, you're just lining up the letters. So if it says K, you put it next to the K. If it says J, you put it next to the J, but I will walk you through it. So I am gonna start with these two pieces, which we wanna curve a little bit. I'm gonna curve that one along the perforation. Now we're gonna glue. All right, so basically, that's the first step. Boom, this one goes on this one. These little notches are kind of helpful, but mostly you want to make sure you line up the corner in the corner. You'll notice that when you're lining up the corner into the corner, it naturally wants to have this little curve happen anyway, so that's helpful. All right, so next up is going to be this piece. Once this one goes into place, it really finishes off that whole curve. All right, now the fourth piece is going to go right across the top. All right, really got to pull it over so it gets right to the edge. All right, so that's pretty much the whole front cheek piece. All right, with this piece done, the next piece that's going to connect is this one. And the reason I know that is because I can see the H going next to the H, and I can see the HH going next to the HH. I can tell that I have a little bit of a gap there, but that's okay. I'll just fill it with glue when I'm gluing it together. If you did it correctly, it should be a straight line. I did not do it correctly, but that's okay. I'm just going to glue it, fill in that gap. Oh, you know what? See, if I just push it together while it's drying, it does turn into a straight line. I knew it would work out. You just have to keep holding it while it dries. All right, there, yeah, it did turn out straight after all. Just had to really hold it into place. All right, looking for the next piece, and I know that it's gonna have a G on it. That's actually the only letter, is G. So at first you're gonna notice that these curves make it seem like this is not gonna line up, but that's the reason that we wanna keep bending them, is because they will glue together and form more of a dome shape. Making all of the edges a little bit rounded, a little curved, is the trick. So now when you glue this together, it'll actually fit. All right, so there we go. We've got all the way from the front to the back. That's everything that we need for the whole bottom half. Now we're gonna start building our way up. All right, next up is this piece. So this one fits in right here. And it's important on this one that you go right to this corner. You wanna make sure you don't go past it. You wanna go right to the corner. So you've got the two notches and the two FFs. It doesn't go all the way to the end of this piece either. It only goes part way. All right, so this is what we've got. The next piece is this sort of curved triangular one. That's gonna fit in right here. And again, you'll notice that there's a lot of gaps, but that's because it's gonna curve and then glue into place, so you have to really curve this. So I'm starting with just the bottom of these few pieces. I'm not doing all the sides yet, so I'm just gonna work my way along the bottom. All right, so that's what it's looking like. The next one up is this long one. You'll see that this one connects here, and that takes us all the way to the back edge. All right, so the bottom of these three pieces are now glued on, but the tops are separate. So now we're gonna glue these edges one by one, and you'll notice that when we do that, it really helps bring the whole entire curve together. So we'll start with this one, where the E is. Oh, by the way, as you go, you can flip over on the back side and add some reinforcement glue just to the back edges of a lot of these. Might as well do it now, especially up towards the front. All right, so now this back strip, I'll just hit the whole edge with glue here, and it really curves as it goes. And you gotta hold it into place really tight. Do not let go until it dries. Hot glue. I'm walking in a spider web. So many little hot glue strands. Glad we're recording all that. Okay, next up is the other kind of triangular piece. And now that's gonna go into this little intersection, our little four-way intersection right there. So we really have to make sure this one is curved. I mean, all of them, but this one especially. So it's a very dome-like triangle. Sure and hit that little tiny piece of that one F there with the glue. So don't burn yourself, but I'm like holding the end, the middle, the end, because those are the most important parts. Make sure that they're lined up as they dry. Okay, so for some reason mine didn't line up perfectly straight right here, which happens. So I'm just gonna adjust it now because I want this to be straight. So I'm just gonna trim that a little bit with scissors so I have a nice straight edge there. All right, last piece for this half of the helmet, this last skinny one, make sure it's curved. So on this one, I am gonna start by lining up the long edge all the way down where it says eyes to make sure that that's nice and flat across the top. So I'll just glue along the long edge, lining up the front part. All right, so that's it. That is one half of the helmet. You've got exactly half. So you'll see in the rest of the first video that you're gonna make the other side now. So of course, all the templates that you traced on the cardboard, if you haven't done it already, you're gonna flip them all over, trace them, and do it all over again. That will give you two perfect halves. Another quick thing is that you've got a few other pieces that go on top of this once you've got your halves together. So you do have this piece, which is gonna end up just fitting right across the top. You'll see in the other video. And then there's been some questions about this long strip that goes across the top. On the template, I just have a short piece that says top strip, just to give you the shape. And then it says 16 inches to the end. I just mean that the whole thing is gonna be 16 inches. I didn't need to put that on the template. So that will end up going all the way across the top to the back, like that. Also, a lot of you have asked about sizing this down for a child size. So when you're going to print, normally you would set this to actual size, but you could just scale it down, try 80% or 75%, and then maybe even put a few of the pieces of paper together first, just to get a sense of the overall size before you commit to cutting out all the cardboard. All right, that's it. Now, go finish making your helmet, watch the rest of the first video, and you'll end up with a sweet duct tape and cardboard Mandalorian helmet. Be sure and check out my Amazon shop for all the supplies and materials. And then just let me know in the comments if you have any further questions about this or any other build. I'm happy to help out. Be sure and tag me on Instagram with your finished costumes and helmets. I love seeing them and I can repost them. All right, see you later.